So again, me and Aileen were supposed to work out today, and I ended up not filming anything.
We didn't really work out together though. We were just
we
in
actually,
the same gym.
We actually didn't. I feel like whenever we're like, oh yeah, let's go work out, it's literally just we come to the same gym and we do our separate workouts. I mean, it's not like you're not doing powerlifting.
Yeah,
the same as
I'm
me.
not gonna come
Like,
here and do squat and bench, like 2 exercises. No.
Yeah, all I did was squat and bench today. So tomorrow is a full accessory day because I've been in here for like 2 hours already. It was actually a very intense workout. I'm drained. Like I'm so gassed right now. So, and Aileen's pretty gassed
I
too.
have not had an intense workout, but I am gassed. I did hit a PR though.
She did. Yeah, she hit 255 on
Yes.
squat. So like, I'll roll the clip. But like previously last semester, she couldn't even hit 225. Now she hit 255 with the help of a strong coach like me.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ryan helps so much.
But she spent like the entire time looking for her her lock,
My
her
key.
her key to her lock.
It disappeared.
Make sure. Okay, I was making sure it's filming.
Yeah. That's what I was looking for.
She lost her key. Somehow it ended up by the leg press, which she wasn't even using at the time. And she was searching for it for like a whole hour. So her workout was pretty like 3 exercises or something like that. So
Okay, 4.
4, yes. More than me. More than me.
Yeah, double actually.
Jesus. Alright, so post-workout with Aileen, at the top of this video, we are going over all of the supplements and the equipment that I'm going to be using while I am on prep for Collegiate Nationals here. So, obviously, with any competition, there's certain things that are banned, certain things that are not allowed, equipment-wise, supplement-wise. So, obviously, there's certain belts, certain knee sleeves, things that you're not able to use at a meet, especially a national meet. Local meets will let you use certain things, but there are specifications that we have to abide by for a meet like this, whether it be, Collegiate Nationals or Raw Nationals or IPF Worlds. There's going to be certain regulations for what you can use and what you can't use. So first off, supplements, what I'm using. So let me explain to you the supplements that I'm using. So first off, I'm going to tell you all the supplements that I do use, ones that I don't use and don't need to use, that I don't feel are necessary. And I'm going to keep the list pretty short and simple because realistically you don't need that much. And starting off, I didn't use any supplements at all. When I was first starting lifting, I was like 136 pounds, 8th grade. I didn't use supplements for the first entire year that I lifted. My parents, didn't let me use protein, use creatine, all this stuff. So I had to get all my sources of nutrients, macronutrients, from food itself, and that is literally probably the best way you go about it. In that first year of lifting, I still gained like up to 165 pounds or something like that. Still must have gained 25 to 30 pounds in my first year of lifting with 0 supplements. It's not necessary, but you can use them if you want that slight help, maybe a slight advantage. It does help. I know equipment-wise, Clarence Kennedy, he literally uses no knee sleeves. Most of the time uses no belt. He does high bar squats, and he still squats an insane amount of weight. So the first supplement that we are talking about is simply whey protein. So whey protein, some people, I think, they get this weird image that like they start taking protein, they're going to all of a sudden just become, huge immediately. It's like all whey protein it's a supplement to supplement the missing protein that you cannot get within your day from food. So you have a certain requirement that you're supposed to hit. I try to hit 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein throughout each and every day. That range is going to vary. I try to hit at least that. So for me, 230 pounds body weight, it's hard to hit 230 grams of protein each day without eating like 3 whole chickens. So a whey protein supplement will help to get some of that protein. And this is 25 grams of protein per scoop. So we take like 2 scoops of that per day. That's 50 grams extra protein. Or on days that I feel like really sore and I want to make sure that my body has enough protein to recover those damaged tissues and muscle tissues and everything, then I'll give myself extra 2 scoops of protein. I don't take it absolutely every day, but I take it when I need it, when I don't hit that protein requirement. Creatine monohydrate. So you don't need necessarily any of those fancy new creatines, creatine HCl, all that stuff. Creatine monohydrate is simple. That's all you need, 5 grams per day. A lot of people say there's like a loading phase for it, so it's going to take some time for the creatine to become saturated in your muscles. So once it is fully saturated, which if you're taking it 5 grams a day, it'll probably take a couple weeks to get that full saturation in your muscles, but you're going to gain a little bit of water weight. Your muscles are going to be able to be more efficient with utilizing that energy. So they're going to take this old used, so ATP is your energy, so they're going to take the used ATP, which becomes ADP, and they're going to convert it back into ATP. You have more energy in your muscles. So for the creatine phosphate system, which is low explosive reps, high intensity, creatine is going to help. And it's very, very highly studied too. This is probably the most studied sports athletic supplement out there right now. So highly suggest taking it. It's very cheap. Creatine monohydrate, 5 grams a day. One that I absolutely am always trying to take now, just to make sure, especially being at college, like it becomes tough to get in all of my nutrients throughout the day. So taking a multivitamin, this one's called Strong Multivitamin from BPN. Basically, taking a multivitamin, you're able to get all those vitamins and minerals and all those micronutrients throughout your day. And obviously, it's better to get them from whole foods. There's probably better bioavailability on to get them straight from Whole Foods and everything, but feel that you may not be able to get that all in throughout the day. Just to make sure, taking a multivitamin supplement will help, taking that every day. Moving right along, pre-workout. Pre-workout is my go-to for like caffeine source. Like I will have energy drinks sometimes, but I pretty much take caffeine or pre-workout like every day because of the caffeine. It's probably not a good thing, but you should really take pre-workout when you like need it, when you're feeling, you know, drained and you need a little boost in energy. Like caffeine's not physically energy, right? Because energy comes from calories, but caffeine is going to, you know, increase your heart rate, increase your metabolism. It's going to warm your body up a little bit. It's overall going to make you feel like you're more energetic. So it's good to kind of wake yourself up. So for me, those are like the most important ones. So I'm going to go through a couple that I kind of think are a little bit optional things that I'll take sometimes, not necessarily all the time. So one thing, first off, is Endopump. So this is a pump product. You can find a lot of like NO3, you know, blood flow enhancing products. You know, there's citrulline malate, there's agmatine sulfate, arginine, all kinds of different things out here. So this combines a bunch of different components in it. So there's a lot of pump products out there. And won't really use that every day, because for me, I'm not trying to necessarily get a pump. I'm trying to lift the most weight possible. So if I do an arm day or something like that, it definitely will help. And a pump will not necessarily make sure you're making gains, or it won't help your workout necessarily, but for a lot of people, I feel like if you're able to get a better pump, you're able to have a better workout, and therefore you're going to push yourself harder to, you know, do more weight, whether it's, you know, on curls, rows, deadlifts, whatever it may be. If you have a better pump, realistically, you're having a better workout and you're going to be pushing yourself harder. After that, a lot of people are coming out with these green supplements nowadays. So BPN has this one called Strong Greens. It's like lemon flavored. And they also have this product called Strong Reds. So this is basically all of your fruits in this one, and this is like all of your vegetables in this one. So again, being at college, I'm telling you, I just had one of these today. I made myself a little shake with Strong Reds and greens in it. It's one of those things, like, obviously you could tell I'm getting a little sick right now, but you aren't always able to get all those nutrients in. Like I go to the dining hall and I need a quick bite to eat, I just grab that. I can't cook for myself here necessarily, so it makes it much more difficult to get those fruits, vegetables, vitamins, minerals, all the micronutrients in. So it does help to have something like this. It's not necessary by any means, but it does help have something like this to help you get all those vitamins and minerals in. So branched chain amino acids, BCAAs. So this is Intraflight from BPN, of course. So basically, BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, are like the first amino acids that your body needs, like post-workout to recover. Leucine specifically is a very big like muscle builder of an amino acid. So BCAAs are made up of leucine, isoleucine, and valine. I personally only take them if I'm like cutting down, because when you're cutting down, you're gonna be in a deficit. Your body's gonna be more likely to burn some of that muscle for fuel, for energy throughout the day. So using this will help you maintain some of that muscle. So when I'm bulking, I'm eating so much food and stuff, I feel like I don't necessarily need it. It's not really necessary for me, but for someone like Nick Bear, who's running, you know, marathons, running every single day, he's experiencing a lot of atrophy. Muscle, you know, is being burned sometimes for fuel, and you can tell, you know, he's kind of slimming down a little bit. So using something like this could help. And that's a big reason why he uses it every day, is because it's going to help him maintain some of that muscle mass. Obviously, you don't want to lose muscle mass, so taking something like that could help while you're in a cut or in a deficit. So those are all of the supplements that I'd recommend, the ones that I take. So like I said, those last couple are like very optional for me. Like I don't really take them that often, but the first few, I take those basically every single day. Without a doubt, I'm taking those just to make sure that I'm getting my proper protein in, getting my proper vitamins and minerals in, getting my creatine in, and having some caffeine if I need some caffeine boosts me up pre-workout. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, so now for the equipment side of things. So for in the USAPL, if you're competing in raw, you can only use a few certain things. So you're able to use knee sleeves, wrist wraps, and a belt of some sort. So obviously, like I said, there's certain regulations at each level. So local meets are a lot more lenient about things. So going into it, first off, so right now I'm using this SBD. I think it's a 13 millimeter belt. So this is, I think SBD only has one belt, so it's actually really nice, like a lever belt. But the thing I like about this one, I used to use the Inzer belt, which I'll pull up right here. If you guys remember last year, I used this Inzer belt for a while, this thing is very, very nice too. Like very sturdy, very stiff, but you can only set it at one setting. So if you one day were feeling a little more bloated or whatever, it wouldn't fit properly. Whereas the SBD one has like tons of different notches in it, so you can put it wherever you want. Basically, you don't have to screw the whole thing in every time you want to change it, which I like that a lot. And overall, I think this one's like a little more comfortable personally, so I use that one. So the Inzer belt I used in the last competition. SBD sent me this belt because they knew I had Collegiate Nationals coming up. They said they knew I would need something that was approved for Nationals, which at the national level, I believe you can use Inzer, you can use SBD. There's certain ones you can use, but SBD is absolutely one that you can use. Knee sleeves. So in my last competition, I did use these Anaka Power knee sleeves. I use these all the time. Really like these ones. They're super soft. Like the inside's pretty soft too. They're comfortable. They're tight. These ones are mediums. I started using knee sleeves back like sophomore year of high school or freshman year of high school because I had knee pain. So I was just telling somebody this the other day, like I literally had knee pain, and I think that helped a lot just with compression, keeping my knee joint warm, and all that stuff. I mean, overall, just more support on the knee itself. And like when you're, it's a little bit placebo in a way too, because you feel like you have these tight sleeves around your knees and you just feel so much more supported. So I do like using them. So I use these ones all the time, every single day. And then I also have a backup pair, so I have these SBD ones. So I'm using these ones in the competition because SBD is absolutely approved for competition at the national level. But Shawley, I was just talking to him the other day. He was in the process of getting the Anaka Power, like basically all the gear approved for nationals, but it's not approved yet, and I don't think it will be approved before I compete. So I'm gonna switch over to the SBDs for the competition because the Anaka Power ones aren't approved. And same with the belts. So the Anaka Power belts that Shawley also makes, those aren't approved yet either, but they're not approved yet. He's coming out with a belt, a new belt. I think he showed like a sneak peek or something, but it's going to be like absolutely crazy. Very similar to something like SBD or Inzer would make. And it's going to be like high quality. Hopefully he's going to be able to get those approved for competition, because I think that would definitely expand his range of, you know, athletes that he can provide to. And then moving on, like I said, you could use wrist wraps. I personally don't even use wrist wraps. I have not had significant wrist pain or whatever. If you guys have been following me since the summer, I had like some elbow pain going on, some kind of forearm, elbowish pain from low bar squats, but never really had wrist pain or anything. But these can be good for wrist support, bench, and squats. These are the Anaka Power ones, obviously. There's different lengths you can get and stuff like that, but these are helpful. I know Kyle uses them for bench and stuff. I mean, obviously, if you have problems stabilizing your wrists or get pain, this will be the way to go for that. And then moving on to shoes, there are certain shoes you can wear in competition as well, so you have to be wearing shoes for the competitions. You can't go in there squat with no shoes on. You can't go in there deadlift barefoot either. I know a lot of people like to deadlift, squat barefoot, all that stuff.
I don't know. It's just like, whoa, whoa. It's like, whoa. I was like, all right, buddy, what's going on?
So I have a couple different pairs of shoes that I wear. So these ones are the ones I wear for squats all the time. I like to have the inclined heel. So these ones are the Nike Romaleos 3. I don't know if they even make these anymore, because Kyle has the Romaleos 3 like XD or something like that. I like these ones a lot. They look super nice. They are very, very like firm, and they're like lightweight as well. So it feels like you're pressing off, like the bottom is completely flat, but yet it's on an incline. So I think that helps me, you know, really sit back a little bit more in my squat. I don't feel like I'm having to tip myself over as much. I could stay a little bit more upright, especially in a low bar squat. So I like these Nikes a lot. And then that brings me on to, I'm gonna probably wear those ones for bench as well. Get a little extra leg drive with the incline heel. And then for deadlift, I usually wear Vans. Like, I'm pretty much wear Vans all the time. I'll either wear those white Vans, the all white ones, or I'll wear these ones, just because they're like a completely flat sole. I like using a completely flat shoe. So people wear, you know, Converse, Vans, people whatever it may be. A lot of people go barefoot as well, but I also just ordered a pair of these A7 deadlift slippers. So those will be coming in like very soon, but they're legal. You could wear deadlift slippers in your competition. It's like a very, very thin, because like obviously when you look at this, it's pretty high up that the shoe is. So basically where your foot is going to be higher up on the ground. So you're going to be at like a slight deficit. Like if you're doing a deficit deadlift standing on a plate, it's going to be harder to get that weight up. So if you have something like these deadlift slippers that I ordered, they're going to be much lower to the ground, and it's going to be less range of motion. Should be technically easier, but those are what I'll use for deadlifts. And then moving right on to the last couple things. So I do use lifting straps on my deadlifts sometimes for my back offset. So my top set, I make sure to not use straps. I'll usually do my top set and no straps, because in a competition you cannot use lifting straps, especially in nationals. You're 100% not gonna be able to use lifting straps. I'll usually do it for my top set to work on that grip strength, and then I'll do like one back offset with without straps, and then the rest of them I will use straps, because I'm not trying to tear open my hands on some back offsets. Doesn't seem worth it to me. You're really not training grip strength anymore on those back offsets, so I just throw the straps on and you're good to go. For me, I just ripped another pair of straps. So I ripped a pair of straps like last year. Those are toast, and then my other pair of straps got stolen in my bag, so I need to get some more straps. Obviously, a couple key things. So obviously, if your gym has chalk, you're good to go. But this is liquid chalk. I use a liquid grip all the time. I just got a new bottle in today, actually. But if you're at a commercial gym or something, they don't let you use chalk. College gyms aren't going to let you use chalk usually. Ohio State gyms not going to let you use chalk. So we got this liquid grip stuff, and they don't seem to really care about that. And chalk is literally going to help so much with your grip. We have our one roommate, Drew, does not use chalk at all. Hands are all sweaty going to the bar, and he claims that it's helping his grip strength or something like that. If you have the option to use chalk, use chalk. It's literally going to help you. You're not going to have to worry about your grip so much, and you're literally just going to be working on your grip strength, not how sweaty the bar is or whatever. Anyways, moving on. Last thing that I use for the gym will be like an A7 bar grip shirt. So I wear all kinds of different things for, bench, squat. I'm always gonna wear like a t-shirt now, because if I'm doing low bar, if you wear a tank, because of where it sits on your back, it's literally just gonna rip open your like rear delts and your back. If you do high bar, you can get away with, like, I would high bar squat with a stringer on. But if you're doing low bar, it's gonna help to have a t-shirt. Like, absolutely, you're gonna need that. So something like this, the A7 shirt will provide a little more grip on the bar, and also helps a lot for bench because it's super sticky. You can't use these in competition, but it can be utilized in training. It's just like having, putting the bands on the bench. People put resistance bands on the bench to help them out. That's also something you could bring with you to the gym to help you out. But again, you cannot use that in competition. So in competition, you're gonna have to get used to, chalking up your back and using that as a means to, have that grip. For me, I use a stringer. I'll like always bench in a stringer, because I can get my skin contact to the bench, which gives me more grip. But realistically, again, you're not just going to be wearing a stringer in a competition. You're going to be wearing a cotton t-shirt with a singlet over it. So you'd have to get used to chalking up your back, and that would be, how you maintain that grip. But for training, strictly talking about training, something like this could help, or using resistance bands on the bench. This is obviously the Ohio State Powerlifting Club version. You know how it goes. So anyways, that's all the equipment that I use. Basically, right now, all the equipment, all the supplements that I use. So that's basically all the gear, supplements I'll be using for Collegiate Nationals. I forgot one very important factor, is the nose torque. So this is just ammonia smelling salts. So there's a lot of different types of things you get. You get the ones you like crack them, all that stuff. But I use this every once in a while for like big sets. If you're feeling crazy one day, man, and you have some big PR to hit, this stuff will like wake you up, get the central nervous system like going and activated. Like Kyle, like just thrives off of that stuff, man.
No. No.
Like he'll be sitting here doing homework, he pops the nose torque real quick, and he's feeling it. He's feeling good, and he's ready to finish off.
No, that's only for showers. I like to take it because if your nose are feeling like very well, and you get the steam going too,
okay,
it really cleans your sinuses and everything.
So you use it for the cleaning factor.
Yeah. If you're stuffy, like I know right now it's like flu season.
Woo! All right, anyways, I was completely joking about that. It's not really one of the most important factors. Like, I just use it every once in a while, and it can help. But other than that, that's going to wrap up the video today. A little bit of a longer video. I tried to condense it as much as I could, but For some reason, I always talk a lot, and these videos end up being pretty long, so apologize for that, but had to go through everything for you guys right there. You may have noticed we were shooting a video in John. I just used my phone for that, so hopefully it was low-key enough. But anyways, that's gonna wrap up the video today. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Drop it a like, please. I would appreciate it. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't already, better subscribe. And we got more videos coming up, man. This series is just getting started. We got a couple more months here. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Appreciate all the support. See you guys in the next video.
People tryna say I'm only enemy. Got a code with my dogs, can't get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Man, man.